Logan sat alone in a quiet docking bay on Station V7, sipping cold synth coffee. He had seen many jobs in his lifeguard duty, smuggling, bounty work, but this one was strange from the start. A message had arrived 3 days ago, escort to alien passengers from V7 to the Talari moon. No questions. High pay, clean ship, discreet pilot required. The payment was 5 times more than any normal escort job. Logan had accepted immediately, but now that he was here, he couldn't stop thinking, why pay so much? Then the door opened. A tall, alien woman walked in first. She wore a silver cloak and held a small scanner. Behind her, 2 girls stepped forward together. They were identical, pale blue skin, long silver white hair, glowing purple eyes, beautiful, elegant, and silent. "These are your passengers," the woman said. "You must keep them safe. Do not ask their names, and do not talk about their destination. They will speak only if they wish." Logan nodded slowly, eyes narrowing. "You sure they need a soldier like me just to fly them? They are not what they seem," the woman said softly, "and others will come." Before Logan could ask more, she handed over a data chip and left without a word. On board the ship Ravager, Logan set the navigation toward Talari moon. The twins sat quietly in the lounge area. They didn't speak. They didn't eat. They just watched him. Logan tried to break the silence. "I'm Logan. You can call me whatever you want, pilot, bodyguard, guy who talks too much. Just letting you know, the ship has good food and clean showers." The twin on the left blinked slowly. "Thank you," she whispered. The other gave a soft smile. "We are fine." He nodded, not wanting to push, but something about them made him uneasy. Their movements were too perfect, their eyes too deep. He had fought aliens before. These two didn't feel like normal girls. The next day, they passed through Sector R9. Logan noticed a small signal on radar, an unknown ship nearby. He activated comms. "Unidentified vessel, state your business." No reply. He turned to the twins. "Anyone following you?" Neither answered. Minutes later, a jolt shook the ship. Red lights flashed. Boarding hooks had connected. Logan cursed, pulled out his blaster, and locked the cockpit door. "Stay here," he told the twins, "and don't open the door unless I come back." He moved quickly through the narrow corridors. At the rear hatch, 5 armored raiders were cutting through the door. They looked like scavengers, but their eyes were focused, trained, not random pirates. The door blew open with a blast. Logan fired first, taking down 1 attacker. The rest charged in, not firing at him but shouting, "Take the girls, we need them alive." Logan growled, "Not happening." He fought hard, but he was outnumbered. Just when 1 raider pinned him down, everything changed. A loud humming sound echoed through the ship. The air shimmered. Then a wave of energy exploded from the corridor, pushing all the attackers back. Logan watched, stunned, as the twins walked into the hallway, their eyes glowing bright purple, their bodies surrounded by light. With a simple gesture, they lifted the remaining attackers into the air without touching them. The men screamed, then dropped to the ground unconscious. Logan slowly stood. What was that?" The twins looked at him. One of them stepped forward. Her voice was soft but firm. "You were not chosen by accident, Logan." The other added, "You were hired for more than just an escort job." Later, in the cockpit, Logan stared out the window in silence. The twins sat behind him, calm as ever. He finally spoke. "You're not normal passengers. You have powers. People are after you. So why me? Why not some super guard or royal ship?" Ava, he had learned one of their names at last, smiled gently. "Because we need someone like you, eh? Deaf-worlder." Zira, the bolder twin, added, "Our lives depend on bonding with one. You may think you're only flying a ship, but your role is much greater." Logan shook his head slowly. "This better not be some ancient prophecy thing." "It is," Zira said, smiling wider. As the ship entered warp speed, Logan leaned back, heart pounding. He had been hired to fly to quiet alien girls across space. But now he was part of something he didn't understand, and the galaxy might never be the same again. Logan didn't sleep that night. He sat in the cockpit, hands tight around the control sticks, even though the ship was flying on autopilot. His eyes kept glancing at the internal sensors. The twins were still in their room, quiet, unmoving, like statues or something worse. He kept remembering the fight, the energy blast, the glowing eyes, the way the raiders floated like puppets. He had seen aliens with strange abilities before, but never like this. And he had definitely never escorted anyone who casually said he was part of a prophecy. Just before dawn cycle, he heard light footsteps behind him. "You didn't rest," Ava said softly. Logan didn't turn around. "Neither did you." Zira appeared beside her, arms crossed, watching him closely. "You're scared." "I'm not scared," Logan muttered. "I just don't like surprises. And both of you are one big walking surprise." Zira walked closer. "Do you really think this job was random? That we were just a helpless girls needing a ride?" "I figured something was off, yeah," he said, voice dry. "But I didn't expect floating pirates and laser eyes." Ava stepped forward, her voice calm and gentle. "We didn't want to involve you like this. But now, it's too late. They know we chose you." Logan finally turned his chair. "Who's they? Who are you really?" The twins looked at each other. For a moment, they spoke in a language Logan didn't understand. Then Ava said, "We are not only twins, we are heirs, last of the Alari bloodline." Zira continued, "An ancient race. Our kind ruled 5 systems before your Earth even knew fire." Logan blinked. "Okay, so you're space royalty. That explains the high price. Doesn't explain why you need me." Ava sat across from him. "Because we are cursed, not by magic, but by old science. A weapon turned into bloodline law. If we don't bond with a death worlder before our final moonrise, our powers will break us from the inside." Zira leaned forward, eyes locked on Logan's. "And the bonding must be full." Logan's breath caught. "What kind of bonding are we talking about?" Neither answered. Later, Logan moved through the ship, checking systems. Anything to avoid thinking about glowing girls talking about full bonding. His training told him to leave, run, drop them off at the nearest station and disappear. But another part of him, a quieter voice deep in his chest, told him not to. That something about these girls was real, that they weren't just dangerous, they were scared. As he walked past the medbay, he stopped. The door was open. Inside, Ava stood alone, looking into a screen. A flickering image showed hundreds of red enemy ships. "That's the Council fleet," she said. Not turning, "They're watching every jump point we might take." Logan stepped in. "Why? Do they want you dead?" "Because we remind them what they destroyed," Ava whispered. "Our people were wiped out. The Alari Empire didn't fall in battle, it was erased by vote. The Council feared us." Zira appeared in the doorway behind him. "They thought they killed us all. But they missed too. And now," Ava said, finally turning, "they know we're alive. And worse, they know we found you." Logan stared at them both. "Why is me being involved such a big deal?" Zira smiled. "Because you're a death worlder. Your body, your biology, your instincts, they match our energy. You're the only kind of being in this galaxy who can survive bonding with us." "I didn't sign up for this," Logan said, backing away. "But you were chosen," Ava said, stepping closer. Logan shook his head. "You should have told me before. You would have said no." Zira replied, "Everyone says no until they feel it." Logan's jaw clenched. "Feel what?" Without warning, Ava reached out. Her fingers barely brushed his chest and suddenly, his entire body jolted. Not pain, not fear, but heat, warmth, like sunlight inside his bones, like someone had touched his soul. He staggered back. "What was that?" he gasped. "That," Ava said, her eyes glowing slightly, "is the beginning." That night, Logan locked his door. He lay awake in his bunk, one hand on his blaster, the other over his chest. He could still feel the warmth, like it had sunk under his skin, like something inside him had changed. He tried to sleep. Then his door hissed open. He sat up fast, gun raised. Zera stood there, wearing a thin sleeping wrap that hugged her body like mist. Behind her, Ava looked just as soft and glowing in the dim light. "We can't wait much longer," Zira said, stepping inside. Logan stood up. What are you doing?" Ava's voice was gentle. "We dreamed of you before we ever met you. Your face, your voice, This moment, Zira walked closer. We are not asking, we are offering. Logan's breath was uneven. And if I say no, Ava's face fell a little. Then we fade. One by one. We lose control. And eventually, we die. And the galaxy burns, Zira whispered. With us or without us, the room grew silent. And Logan had never felt so unsure in his life. Logan didn't move for a long moment. The room felt heavier, warmer, filled with something invisible. Not just heat, not fear, it was like pressure pressing on his chest. Ava and Zira stood there, quiet but watching him with eyes that glowed. Faintly in the dim ship light, they didn't blink, they didn't beg, they just waited. He finally set the blaster on the side table and rubbed his face. You two are serious about this bonding thing. Ava stepped forward, slow and careful. We don't want to trap you, Logan. We don't want to force, but we're running out of time. Zira followed behind her, voice lower. If you say no, we'll find a way to go alone, but it will be painful. He looked at them both, same face, same voice but different energy. Ava was like calm water, Zira like fire under ice. How were they so different but so connected? Logan exhaled. Hard. If I say yes, what happens to me? You change, Ava whispered. Not just physically. Zira added. You begin to feel what we feel. Think like us. Want like us. Logan's heartbeat picked up. That doesn't sound like something I want, but it's something you need, Ava said. That's why the bond is rare. Most don't survive it. Their minds break, or their bodies. But Death Worlders, you endure. I'm not a hero, Logan said quietly. I'm just a guy with a ship who needed credits. Zira tilted her head. We know. That's why we picked you. He laughed once, tired. That doesn't make sense. Exactly, Ava smiled. That's why it works. They didn't force anything. When Logan laid back down, they left his room. Not a word more, just the sound of the door hissing shut behind them. But sleep didn't come. The warmth was back. Under his ribs, in his hands, in the back of his neck, like invisible fingers brushing along his nerves. By morning, Logan looked in the mirror and froze. His eyes had a faint glow. Barely there, but real. He splashed water on his face, rubbed hard, looked again, still glowing. He stepped out into the hallway. Ava and Zira were waiting. Neither looked surprised. You started changing, Zira said softly. You didn't touch me, Logan muttered. You let us in, Ava replied. He stared at them. I didn't say yes. You didn't say no, Zira smiled. Later, during the mid-flight cycle, Logan tried to distract himself by running a full check on the ship systems. Power levels normal, shields holding, fuel levels fine. But there it was again, that signal ping. Something was tracking them. He activated the long-range scanner. A small ship, fast, not council marked, no ID codes. They're getting closer. He said out loud. Ava appeared beside him. Not council, hunters. Who sent them? Logan asked. Anyone who fears what we might become, Zira answered from behind. The small ship fired. Logan jerked the controls hard and spun the Ravager into a corkscrew dive. Shields held, just barely. Incoming missile. The ship's AI warned. Logan yelled, brace, and launched countermeasures. But the missile wasn't aiming for the engine, it targeted the cargo bay. Logan cursed and ran. By the time he reached the bay, the explosion had already torn through the outer wall. Fire suppression systems kicked in, but a breach alert screamed through the ship. He turned the corner and found Ava on her knees, shielding Zira with her body. Blood blue and glowing ran down her shoulder. Ava, Logan shouted, running toward them. She looked up, eyes dimming. I'm fine, just tired. Zira gripped her hand, her voice trembling. The energy is draining faster now. The bond must be completed soon, or it will tear her apart. Logan stared at her injury. It wasn't physical damage, it was energy burn, internal, like something inside her was cracking open. We'll jump now, Logan said, lifting Ava into his arms. Hang on, in the cockpit. Logan input new coordinates, a hidden moon, far from traffic, an abandoned temple used centuries ago by the Ilari, the place where the bond ceremony was once performed. As the stars warped around them, Logan looked down at Ava resting in his lap. Her skin pulsed with a soft glow. Zira sat across from him, silent, but watching his every move. I don't understand. This, Logan admitted. You don't need to, Zira replied. You just need to be there. Be where? He asked. She didn't answer. The ship landed on the moon hours later. It was quiet. No cities, no ships, just silver trees and crystal rocks that hummed when touched. The old temple stood in the center, tall pillars, broken stairs, glowing walls carved with Alari script. Logan helped Ava walk. Zira led the way. Inside the temple, the air felt thick like stepping into deep water. Everything glowed faintly. Symbols on the floor shifted as they passed. This is where it must happen, Ava said, voice weak. The place our blood remembers. Zira placed her hands on a pillar. It lit up, and the platform in the center of the room rose. Step onto it with us, she said to Logan. He hesitated. Ava looked at him. You're already part of us. You've already started to feel it. Don't fight it anymore. Logan clenched his jaw. His hands trembled. But then he stepped forward, onto the platform. Between them, the lights around them began to rise. A low hum filled the air. Energy moved like waves, wrapping around all three. Ava leaned into him, eyes closing. Zira touched his arm, steady and strong, and Logan's body began to glow. His vision blurred. His breath caught. He wasn't afraid. He felt chosen, and that feeling was only just beginning. The energy didn't stop. It surrounded Logan like a storm made of light. His skin burned not with pain, but with heat that went deep inside his chest. Like something ancient waking up, Ava pressed her forehead against his, her breath soft. Zira held his hand, her grip tight, but comforting. The floor under them pulsed with glowing runes. The walls of the temple shimmered, as if reacting to their presence. Logan could barely breathe. What's happening to me? You're becoming, Zira whispered. Not just bonded, not just human, more. Ava's voice came softer, weaker. Our power is yours now too. Logan gasped as a flash of memory not his burned through his mind. Images of Alari cities, flying ships made of crystal, voices chanting in old languages, a war, fire, then silence. When it ended, he collapsed to his knees, but they held him. It's done, Zira said quietly. The bond has begun. Logan wiped sweat from his brow. Then why do I feel like I just got struck by lightning? Zira helped him stand. Because you did. But it didn't kill you. Ava managed a small smile. That means it worked. They spent the next few hours in silence, sitting near the temple's open arch. The alien moon was quiet. Wind blew through the silver trees, and soft light floated through the sky like drifting snow. Logan stared at his hands. His skin still glowed faintly, and strange symbols moved under the surface like tattoos made of energy. What happens now? He asked. Zira leaned against a stone pillar. Now the council knows for sure. Logan turned to her. Knows what? That we completed the bond, and that you didn't die. Ava nodded weakly. They will panic. Why? Logan asked. Zira's eyes darkened. Because one human bonded to two Alari sisters. That wasn't supposed to be possible. But we made it possible, Ava added. And now we're something new. Something they can't control. Logan stood up. Then let them come. Zira smirked. They already are. Back inside the ship, the long-range calm finally cracked with noise. Static cleared. Then a voice came through. Cold, sharp. This is Fleet Commander Ulrix of the Galactic Council. You are harboring two fugitives. Turn them over, and your life will be spared. Logan tapped the comm. This is Logan. I'm the guy your little bounty hunters failed to stop. I don't take orders from murderers. A pause, then you will die with them. The voice snapped. The signal ended. Ava stepped closer. They're sending their elite fleet. How long? Logan asked. Hours, Zira said. Maybe less. Logan clenched his fists. Wheel. Fight. You can't fight an entire fleet, Ava said gently. I don't care. I'm not giving you up. Logan said. Ava placed her hand on his chest. We know. Zira's eyes narrowed. But maybe we don't need to fight alone. They took the ship deeper underground. The temple was old but not empty. Below the surface, Alari technology slept in silence, untouched for generations. Crystal cores, shield generators, weapons powered by light and sound. This place isn't Just for rituals, Logan said, walking through the dark halls. It's a fortress. Zira activated one of the control panels. A pulse spread through the walls. Lights came on soft gold, then deep blue. Energy returned to the ancient systems. Ava touched the floor gently. This was our ancestors' last hope. They built it in secret, waiting for someone like you. Logan raised an eyebrow. You mean me, or anyone dumb enough to say yes? Zira smiled. Both. When the council fleet arrived, they didn't come quietly. The 12 ships, sharp and dark, blocked the sky above the moon. Fighters swarmed out like angry insects, scanning the surface dot from the temple. Logan watched the radar. They're spreading out, looking for weak points. We have one shot, Zira said. If we can activate the temple's core, we can disable their fleet at least for a few minutes. Logan looked at the map. What's the catch? Ava hesitated. It will drain us. The bond is still new. It may hurt. Logan stepped closer. I'll take the risk with you. Zira nodded. Then we move. Inside the control chamber, the three stood in a triangle. The floor lit up under their feet. The ship's engines powered down. All systems focused on the core. Begin the merge, Ava whispered. Light exploded upward. A pillar of energy that cracked the sky. Ships above the moon spun off course, their engines shorting out. Static filled council comms. Lights blinked off. Logan screamed as the energy moved through his bones. But he didn't let go. He saw Ava cry out in pain, but she stayed standing. Zira's arms shook, but she held her ground. The sky above turned white. Then everything went quiet. Outside, the ships floated dead in space. Not destroyed, just stunned. Powerless, the temple still glowed. Inside, Logan was on one knee, breathing hard. His skin shimmered. His veins lit up like stars. He looked up at the sisters. How long does the effect last? Only minutes, Ava said, barely able to stand. Enough to send a message, Zira answered. Logan stood, voice steady. Then let's show them what bonded means. And this time, they weren't afraid. The fleet above the moon was silent, frozen like statues in space. The glow from the temple faded, leaving only soft pulses from the ancient walls. But Logan knew it wouldn't last. Those ships would come back online, and when they did, they wouldn't hold back. He leaned over the control panel, sweat dripping from his brow. His arms still burned with energy. The symbols on his skin moved like waves, glowing with every breath. Zira was the first to speak. We bought ourselves maybe 6 minutes. Not enough, Logan muttered. Ava stumbled, catching herself on the console. Her voice was thin. Then we make them talk before the countdown ends. Logan turned to her. You really think the council listens to talking? Zira stepped forward, face calm. Not to us, but they'll listen to him. They fear what we've become, Ava said. But they fear humans more. They just forgot that. Logan grabbed the comm unit. His voice cut through the dead air above the moon. This is Logan of Earth. You've just been disarmed by 3 people in a broken temple. Your weapons are dead. Your engines are locked. And if you fire again, you won't just lose power, you'll vanish. Double quotes, silence, then static, then a voice returned. It was low, cautious. You bonded with them. I did, Logan said, and I'm still breathing. Another pause, then the voice shifted, cold and angry. You've made a mistake. No, Logan said. You did. You tried to erase them. You sent killers. You lied about who they were. You forgot what happens when you push too hard. You made this happen. The static cut off. Zira watched. The radar. Half the fleet is retreating. Logan blinked. Just like that? No, Ava whispered. It's fear. They'll be back with more. Later, the temple grew quiet again. The glow faded. The sisters sat close beside Logan under the arch, resting. The stars above spun slowly. He looked at both of them. I don't get it. You said bonding with one of you was dangerous. Bonding with both, that was supposed to be impossible. Zira leaned her head against his shoulder. That's why we kept searching for the right one. Ava smiled weakly. Someone strong enough to carry both halves of the gift. And the curse. You never said what the curse is, Logan said. Zira didn't look at him. We see everything that is coming, Ava added, and we feel every death that follows. Logan's chest tightened. So you're not just queens. You're oracles. No. Ava whispered. were warnings. As they prepared the ship for flight, Zira found something in the lower levels of the temple, an old device made of silver and black crystal. She held it up, frowning. "It's a memory key," she said, "from the last age." "What does it hold?" Logan asked. "Instructions," Zira replied, "and a warning from the last bonded warrior." Ava placed her hand on the device. It lit up, casting an image into the air. A human man stood in ancient armor, face hard, eyes glowing like Logan's now did. Two women stood beside him, twins like Ava and Zira, but from another time. The man spoke slowly. "If you see this, it means the bond has happened again. You are now the target of every ruler in the galaxy, but you are also its only hope." Pause. "Your strength is not in your weapon, it is in your choice. You must never let them divide you, or you will burn from the inside out." The message ended. The room went still. Ava lowered her hand. "So it's happened before." Zira nodded. "And it nearly destroyed everything." Logan stared at the faded image. "I'm not a savior." "No." Zira said, "You're something worse." Ava finished. "You're proof we survived." As they lifted off from the moon, Logan watched the radar again. The Council's main fleet had left, but small red dots appeared near the edges. New ships, faster, stealthier. Zira confirmed. Assassins, not soldiers." Logan narrowed his eyes. "They're not coming to capture us anymore." "No," Ava said. "They'll aim for the heart." Logan activated the outer defenses. "Let them come." Later that night cycle, Logan couldn't sleep. He walked to the back of the ship, where the stars stretched beyond the observation deck. Ava stood there, silent. She turned when he approached. "You're changing faster now," she said. "I feel it," Logan admitted. "I feel everything." Ava stepped closer. "We were raised to believe bonding was a myth, something for stories. But now it's real, and I'm scared." He looked into her eyes. "Me too." Then Zira entered, barefoot, her expression softer than usual. "No more secrets," she said. "No more waiting." She took his hand. Ava took the other. Logan looked between them. "Are you sure we are now one?" Zira said. "Forever," Ava whispered. Logan didn't resist. He pulled them both close, and in that moment, the bond burned brighter than ever, blinding, pure, an unstoppable dot, and across the galaxy, those who watched it happen trembled. They didn't sleep that night, not truly, even when their eyes closed. The bond between them kept pulsing like a heartbeat, loud, alive, and endless. Logan felt it strongest in his chest, a constant warmth, like someone had lit a fire inside his ribs and forgotten to put it out. Every time Ava or Zira touched him, the fire grew brighter. He wasn't fully human anymore. He knew that dot, and now, so did the rest of the galaxy. The next morning, the news broke across 10 systems. A council beacon sent a single urgent warning. The forbidden bond had been completed, and the last of the Alari line had chosen a death worlder. Logan watched the holoscreen in silence. Every channel showed his face now, his name, his ship, his crime. Ava sat beside him, holding his hand. "They're afraid." Zira stood near the console, arms crossed. "Afraid of what happens next." "They should be," Logan said quietly. A message arrived. Not from the Council this time, but from Earth. The seal of the Human Alliance appeared. A general with cold gray eyes filled the screen. "We've seen the broadcast. We've seen what you've become," the general said. "Return home at once. We will protect you if you cooperate." Logan didn't reply right away. Zira narrowed her eyes. "They want to study us. They want to control you," Ava whispered. "And they'll use him to do it." Logan shut off the message. "We're not going to Earth. They'll come anyway," Zira said. "Let them," Logan answered. The next attack came 2 hours later. A stealth ship with cloaking tech dropped out of warp just outside sensor range. No warning, no call. It fired a precision beam straight at the Ravager's cockpit, but it didn't hit. A wall of light snapped into place midair, just inches from the glass. The beam scattered. The enemy ship turned to flee. Logan raised his palm. Without touching the controls, he reached out with something deeper, something new. The air around his hand glowed. Outside, the enemy ship froze in space. Then it shook violently and tore itself in half. The ship exploded. Logan lowered his arm, breathing hard. Zira stepped beside him, wide-eyed. You unlocked it. Ava stared at him like seeing something holy. The bond has finished forming. Logan felt his heart racing. I didn't even try. You don't need to anymore, Zira said. You're no longer learning the bond. You are the bond. Their next move came quickly. They couldn't hide anymore, so they did the opposite. They set a course straight for the high-orbit trade station, the largest and busiest spaceport in the outer systems, a place crawling with spies, diplomats, and bounty hunters, a place where the whole galaxy watched every movement. Logan walked into the central chamber with Ava and Zira at his side. The noise stopped. Every conversation ended. Every eye turned. He wore no armor, no weapons, only a dark coat and glowing marks down his arms. The twins wore ceremonial wraps, soft gold, flowing with energy, floating just above their skin. Their eyes burned with quiet power. Logan stepped onto the platform and spoke into the main broadcast tower. You've heard the rumors, he said. Let me confirm them. They're true. A hush fell over the station. We bonded, Logan continued. I'm no longer just human. They are no longer just heirs. We are something new, together. A security team started to move toward them. Logan raised one hand. They stopped moving, not by choice but as if the air around them had turned to stone. He lowered his hand again. The guards gasped, stumbling backward. We don't want to rule, Ava said, her voice like music. But we will never run again, Zira added. You have one choice now, Logan said to the silent crowd. Stand with us, or stay out of our way. They returned to the ship in silence. No one followed them. But the message had spread across the stars. That night, Zira paced in the hallway, tense. They'll attack. Every empire, every council, every outlaw clan. They'll all test us. Good, Logan said. They'll keep coming, Ava whispered. Until one of us breaks. Logan looked at her. Then we make sure none of us does. He pulled them both close. Their foreheads touched. 3 pulses sensed. 3 lights merged. From the outside, it looked like a soft glow. From the inside, it felt like a star being born. And in that quiet moment, all 3 of them knew war was coming. But they were ready. The stars above burned brighter than ever, but the galaxy itself was holding its breath. Word had spread too fast. Fleets were moving. Secret alliances were shifting. Old enemies were suddenly meeting in hidden places, whispering about a human who bonded with twin Alari sisters and survived. Not just survived but changed. Logan stood at the center of the ship's command deck, staring at the galactic map. Red dots flickered across half the sectors. Council destroyers, hired war fleets, rogue empires, every one of them heading toward one location. Ava entered quietly, her eyes glowing with calm light. She didn't speak at first. She just stood beside him and placed her hand on his. They're afraid, she said. Logan nodded. They should be. Zira joined them. Her voice was colder, sharper. This is the last move. They'll bring everything, and they'll expect us to break. Logan stared at the hologram. Then we do something none of them expect. He called a meeting, not just a broadcast, a live gathering. The last time something like this happened, the Alari Empire still existed. They chose the neutral world of Talvorn. A giant hollowed asteroid turned into a city of embassies and glass towers. Weapons were banned, but everyone came armed anyway with fear. Logan arrived in silence, walking beside Ava and Zira. He wore dark robes that shimmered faintly, and the marks on his body lit the floor with each step. The twins wore matching cloaks, silver and white, their hair floating in a field of soft power. No guards, no shields. Inside the dome, thousands of leaders sat waiting. Alien warlords, human admirals, council lords, pirate queens, all watching. Logan stepped into the center. I didn't ask for this, he said, voice loud and steady. I didn't chase power. I didn't want to change. But you did, Zira said beside him. And now you must choose, Ava added. Logan turned, scanning the crowd. We could fight. You could send fleets. You could burn planets. But you won't win. Because this bond isn't a weapon. It's a mirror. It shows you what you've become. He pointed to a council lord in the front. You sent assassins. Then to a human officer. You tried to leash me. then to a pirate queen. You offered to sell me. He raised his voice. None of you understand. You thought you could control what we are. You still don't see the truth. Ava's voice rang like a bell. The old ways are ending. Zira's voice followed, sharp as a blade. And we are what comes next. Logan stepped forward, eyes glowing like fire. We are bonded. Not ruled, not owned, not broken. Silence held the room. Then one voice rose. From the back, a cloaked alien stood. You speak like a king. I'm not, Logan said. I'm worse. I'm free. That night, fleets surrounded Talvorn. Over 100 warships. The council had no more patience. They gave the order. Burn the asteroid. Kill the bonded. End the prophecy. Inside the command center, Logan stood with the twins, watching the red warning lights appear. Missile locks, plasma beams, everything pointed at them. Zira looked at him. We don't have enough power to stop all of them. Ava touched the console. But if we give everything, together. Logan nodded slowly. Then we do it. He turned to them. I'm with you. They stepped forward together, onto the platform. The same platform from the temple, rebuilt inside their ship. A gift from the past. A key to the future. Their hands locked, their hearts beat as one, and light exploded. The fleets fired. Beams of death, waves of destruction, guided by fear. But the moment the blasts hit the surface, everything stopped. Not from shields, not from tech. From will. The light from the bond rose into the sky, pure and alive. It didn't block the attack, it erased it. The ships didn't explode. They unraveled, quietly, silently. One by one, the great warships disintegrated into dust. No screams. Just surrender. When it was over, the stars were quiet again. Talvorn still stood, and at its heart, Logan emerged with Ava and Zira by his side. He no longer looked like a simple man. He looked like something new. Something eternal. The leaders fell to their knees not because of fear, but because of awe. Logan spoke once more. We didn't come to rule. We came to end the cycle. If you want war, we won't run. But if you want peace, we'll build it with you. Zira's voice followed. We are not your enemy, Ava finished, but we will never be your slaves. The galaxy didn't change overnight, but it didn't burn either. That was enough. Logan took the Ravager far from the center, where stars still rose untouched by war. And in a quiet system, he made a home with two glowing hearts beside his own, not as a warrior, not as a legend, but as the man they chose, and the human who chose them back.